everyone else, it's actually an egg and spoon race and disrupt eggs and spoon to slow them all down. Crack! Hitch a ride on the back of a cheetah, the world's fastest animal. Roar! Simply run faster than everyone else. Sadly, all these ideas seem doomed to fail, especially the last one. Just as Colin was about to call the whole thing off, his imagination swirled with the perfect plan. Rocket-propellered shoes! First, he bought the biggest running shoes he could find. These were at least twice the size of Colin's actual feet and made him look like a clown. Second, he followed out holes in the soles so he could install some wheels. He had surprised off his old toy cars. Third, he laid his hand on the most powerful fireworks he could find. He cut open the backs of the shoes and placed the rockets inside. While the other competitors would have to run as fast as they could, Colin would simply light the fuses on the fireworks and shoot past them in his special rocket-propellered shoes and win the gold medal. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you are shorter than I expected, remarked Lord Sock as he laid eyes on the boy for the first time. Oh, not you as well, moaned Colin. The pair were standing in the vast Olympic Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. The atmosphere was electric. Flags of every country in the world flew. Hundreds of thousands of sport fans were packed into their seats. Cameras from around the globe were beaming every event live to an audience of billions. So this is the Olympic races. The man looked down at the boy's enormous running shoes. My, what huge feet you have. Colin's shoes were nearly as long as he was tall. He'd been hoping no one would notice how big they were, but it was impossible not to. Thank you, Lord. That's why I can run so fast. Is it really, boy? Well, I say run. I do have an unusual way of running, where my feet never leave the ground. Lord Sock could not hide his shock. I'm extremely concerned about this boy. You are representing our great country, and it is a great country, as it has great in its title, and the most important sporting event in the world. And you tell me you run without your feet ever leaving the ground. I have never heard so much nonsense in all my life. Colin, I am pulling you from the race. No, Lord, please, I will win gold, I promise you. A towering figure passed the boy. This was Ike Scraper, representing Jamaica. He was the fastest man in the world. With 103 Olympic gold medals to his name, he looked at Colin and chuckled to himself. Ha ha ha. Ike, he headed straight for the racetrack. You better get going, boy, said Lord Sock. With some difficulty, Colin rolled to the start line. An Olympic official dresser in a blazer stepped up to the track, starting pistols in his hand. Take your places at the start line, gentlemen. Ike was next to Colin. When the man crouched, he was still taller than Colin. When he was standing up, how nice of the clown to lend you his shoes, murmured Ike with a smirk. Colin shook his head. He was desperate to teach this handsome, funny, and worst of all, tall man a lesson. The boy reached into his shorts and pulled out a crafty concealed box of matches. On your marks, called out the official. I'll be waiting at the finish line with a cup of British tea for you. said Ike. Colin lit the fuse in his left shoe. Get set. However, Colin's fingers burned and he dropped the match before he could light the next fuse. Ow! This could spell disaster. Bang! The starter pistol fired. The athlete's power towards the finish line, led as always by Ike Scrapper. With only one firework lit and his right foot being dragged along behind, Colin found it impossible to go in a straight line. Instead, he shot off sideways and smashed into one of the runners. Thump! Oof! Colin sent the man flying. The runner fell to the ground. Thud! Spinning around uncontrollably like a giraffe at its first roller disco. Colin took a few more runners. Thump, thump, thump. Oof, oof, oof. They fell to the ground. Thud, thud, thud. No spinning on one leg like an ice dance routine gone horribly wrong. Colin's other foot with its giant shoe spun around, clumping some of the other runners in the face. Uh-oh. Ow, ow, ow. They fell to the ground in a heap. Thump. So this is him and his rocket-propellered shoes. Soon there was just one man standing. It was, of course, the Olympic legend, Ike Scrapper. As he was about to cross the finish line, when his 104th Olympic gold medal, the firework in Colin's shoe exploded. Bang! Sending the boy flying up towards the sky. Whoosh! Colin's huge rocket-propellered shoes zoomed through the air, his little body flailing behind. He shot high above the clouds. The boy rather liked it up there. It was calm and peaceful for a moment. Colin was suspended there, perfectly still. But what goes up must come down. At speed, looking far below, he could see Ike Scrapper was about to cross the finish line. But when Ike looked up, Colin landed on top of him, knocking him out cold. Ike Scrapper fell to the ground like a mighty oak. Thud! Sitting on top of the man, all the boy had to do was stand and cross over the finish line. He held up his hand in triumph. The crowd in Tokyo was furious. Boo! 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 The little British boy had wrecked the race and knocked out the world's fastest man. That was a disgrace, thundered Lord Sock, and he marched up to the boy. You should be ashamed of yourself. You have let the Olympics down. You have let Great British down. Most of all, you have let yourself down. Before Colin could reply, a voice boomed over the loudspeaker system. The winner of the 100-meter sprint is Colin Clont of Great Britain. The boos became louder still. Boo! Before he knew it, the Olympic officials had whisked Colin off to the winner's podium. There, he was not only awarded a gold medal, but a silver and bronze too, as none of the other competitors had crossed the finish line. At that moment, they were all being stretched off the running track. Colin's smug face was beamed around the world as 100,000 people in the stadium, billions around the world, booed him. Boo! Boo! From that moment, Colin Clont became public enemy number one. The boy couldn't walk down the street anywhere in the world without strangers booing him and even throwing rotten fruit at him. Boo! Splat! Hiss! Splat! Thwack! Cheat! Oof! This meant Colin could never go out. He had to stay in his bedroom with the curtains closed in case some angry passer-by hurled a rotten tomato at the window. Splurge! The boy's 3 Olympic medals took pride of place in his trophy cabinet. Every night, before he went to bed, he placed them around his neck and admired himself in the mirror. I'm the only person who have ever come first, second, and third in the same race, he would tell himself. That means I'm the absolute best and not short at all. Then the boy would give himself a little pat on the back and sit alone in the darkened room. So this is him in his room. The end. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and come next time for another book on Irene's Book Club. Bye!